The night was dark and bitterly cold, the kind of night that seemed to swallow sound. In the lonely valley below the mountains, a single light glowed in the window of a small stone cottage. Inside, a boy named Eli sat by the fire, his hands trembling as he held the shears that had belonged to his father. The firelight flickered across his face, revealing both fear and hope. Outside, in the windswept pen, waited his last sheep, a creature so strange and beautiful that the villagers called it the wonderful sheep. Her wool shimmered faintly even in the dark, silver and soft as mist. She was unlike any sheep anyone had ever seen. Some said she had come from the clouds, others whispered she was a gift from heaven. But to Eli, she was more than that, she was all he had left of his mother. She had appeared the night his mother died, 7 years ago, lying quietly beside the doorstep as if she had known she was meant to be there. His mother had named her Luna, and ever since, Luna had never left his side. Now, though, everything was about to change. The promise. The winter had been cruel that year. Snow buried the valley roads, and the villagers had begun to starve. Eli's father had gone to trade wool in the city months ago and never returned. Some said the mountain took him, others said the roads did. Eli didn't believe any of them. He believed his father was alive and would come home as soon as spring thawed the passes. But spring hadn't come. Hunger had. That morning, the mayor of the village came to Eli's cottage with 2 guards. The councils ordered every household to offer something, he said. We're sending wagons to the city. The wool trade might save us. Eli's heart sank. He had nothing left but Luna. She's all I have, Eli whispered. She's not for trade. The mayor frowned. Eli, that animal could feed a dozen families for a month. Her fleece alone. She's mine, Eli said, his voice breaking. My mother's sheep. The mayor sighed. I'll give you 3 days. After that, the guards will come. When they left, Eli sat beside Luna in the snow. She looked at him with her strange golden eyes, calm and knowing. He pressed his forehead to hers. I promised I'd never let them take you, he murmured. But I don't know how to keep that promise anymore. 2. The dream. That night, Eli dreamt of his mother. She stood in a field of light, smiling softly. Don't be afraid, she said. The world gives, and the world takes. What matters is what you give back. When he woke, the air in the cottage was warm though the fire had gone out. Luna stood at the door, staring toward the mountains. Her fleece seemed to glow faintly again, brighter than it had in years. Then Eli saw something impossible, a faint trail of silver light leading away from the pen, vanishing into the woods. Luna bleated softly, as if asking him to follow. He hesitated, remembering the cold and the wolves. But something in her eyes, that same deep, patient love his mother once had, told him this was important. He followed. The forest was hushed and strange, filled with falling snow and moonlight. The silver trail glimmered faintly ahead, winding between the trees until it reached a clearing Eli had never seen before. At the center stood a stone well, half buried under snow. Luna approached it and stamped her hoof twice. Eli peered in. The water shimmered like a mirror, and as he looked, the reflection shifted. He saw a city, bright, crowded, alive, and then he saw his father, thin and pale, lying in a narrow alley, coughing. Father? Eli whispered. Luna bleated again, gently, and he understood. The city was far beyond the mountains, unreachable in winter. His father was alive, but dying. How can I save him? Eli cried. The reflection shimmered once more. A woman's voice, soft and familiar, echoed from the well, the wool of the wonderful sheep brings life where there is none. But it can only be given freely. Eli fell to his knees. You mean I must shear her? Take her gift. The voice didn't answer, but Luna stepped closer, lowering her head as if in blessing. He understood then, Luna had always been more than a sheep. She was a promise made flesh, his mother's love turned into light. Free, the choice. Eli led Luna back to the cottage, tears stinging his eyes. By morning, the snow had stopped, and the valley lay under a cold blue sky. He took his father's shears in his shaking hands. "I can save him," he whispered. "But you'll die." Luna stood still, her golden eyes soft and forgiving. The moment the blades touched her fleece, a gentle warmth spread through the room. Her wool fell in glowing tufts that melted into light. Eli wept as he worked, until Luna stood bare and fragile, her glow fading slowly. He wrapped the shining wool in his old blanket and placed it near the fire. By dusk, it had cooled into a soft, silver fabric that pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. Eli didn't sleep that night. At dawn, he carried the bundle to the mayor's house. "I'll trade this," he said. "Take it to the city. It's worth more than you can imagine. But send word to a man named Aaron, in the East Quarter. Tell him his son sent it, and he must come home." The mayor blinked, astonished by the fabric's glow. "Where did you get this?" "Just promise me you'll do it," Eli said. The mayor nodded. "I swear it." When Eli returned to the cottage, Luna was lying by the hearth, breathing faintly. He knelt beside her and pressed his face into her neck. "You saved him," he whispered. "You wonderful, wonderful sheep." Her breathing slowed. A faint shimmer ran along her body, and then she was gone, only a wisp of silver mist rising into the air. 4. The miracle. Weeks passed. The snow began to melt, and Eli tried to live as best he could, though the cottage felt unbearably empty. Every dawn he looked toward the mountains, hoping for a messenger, a sign, anything. One morning, as spring finally broke across the valley, a rider arrived from the city. Eli ran out to meet him. "Are you Eli, son of Aaron?" the man asked. Eli nodded, his heart pounding. "Your father lives," the man said, smiling. A strange thing happened. A cloth arrived at the infirmary weeks ago, glowing like the sun. When it was placed over him, his fever broke. "He's been asking for you ever since." Eli felt his knees go weak. He fell to the ground, laughing and sobbing all at once. The man dismounted. "He's on his way home, boy. Should be here before nightfall." Eli looked toward the sky, and for the first time in months, he saw sunlight spilling over the mountains. It was warm and bright and filled with something that felt like forgiveness. The return. That evening, as the first stars appeared, Eli saw a figure coming down the road, tall, weary, and familiar. He ran to meet his father, throwing his arms around him. Aaron held him tightly, his rough hands trembling. "They told me what you did," he whispered. "The whole city's talking about the boy who gave away a miracle." Eli buried his face in his father's chest. "She did it, not me." "Who?" Aaron asked. Eli looked toward the empty pen. "The wonderful sheep." Aaron followed his gaze, puzzled. "There's nothing there, son." Eli smiled faintly. "There used to be." That night, they sat together by the fire, telling stories until the flames burned low. For the first time, the cottage didn't feel lonely. But as the wind rose outside, Eli heard something faint, a soft bleat in the distance. He stepped outside and saw a faint shimmer on the hill, like moonlight taking shape. For a moment, he thought he saw her, Luna, standing there in the mist, her fleece whole again, her eyes glowing with quiet joy. Then she was gone. 6. The legacy. Years passed, and the valley prospered again. Eli grew into a shepherd like his father, but he never kept many sheep. Instead, he spent his days helping others, mending fences, tending fields, and caring for lost animals that wandered to his door. One summer evening, a traveler came through the village. She was blind, and her clothes were ragged. Eli welcomed her in, fed her, and gave her a bed. In the morning, she told him she had dreamed of a glowing sheep that led her to his door. Eli smiled softly. Then you're safe here. Before she left, he gave her a small scrap of silver cloth, all that remained from Luna's fleece. Keep this, he said. It brings warmth when you have none. The traveler wept and kissed his hands. You've given me more than warmth. You've given me hope. That night, Eli sat outside, watching the stars rise. The valley shimmered with moonlight, quiet and alive. Somewhere in the distance, he thought he heard the sound of hooves, light as wind. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Thank you." 7. The Reflection. Long after Eli was gone, people still told the story of the wonderful sheep, how she had appeared from nowhere, how her wool saved a dying man, how she vanished into light. Some said it was just a legend, others swore it was true. But in the valley where Eli once lived, on nights when the moon was full, shepherds sometimes found their flocks gathered in silence, staring toward the hills. And if you listened closely, you could hear it too, a faint, gentle bleat carried on the wind, a reminder of a love so deep it could turn sorrow into grace.